Doug NPA back with another video. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button on the way in. I really appreciate it. It shows that you support me and the content on this channel. So we have entered a world where the Brat, the female rapper, is pregnant with her first child at 48 years old. Now, if you weren't there in the 90s, the Brat was one of the most in-your-face, masculine kind of street rappers of the 90s. She had that song, So Functified. Remember that song? And then one of my favorite to Brat verse was on Missy Elliott's first album, Super Duper Fly. She had that Sock It To Me song. The Brat had the most fire verse of a female rapper ever. If you haven't heard it, check it out. It's my favorite female rap verse of all time. But she's pregnant with her first child at 48. So let's look at this news story and see what that is all about.
Brat and her wife, Jessica Judy Harris Dupart, are expecting their first child, and they're exclusively telling people when they made the decision to expand their family.
I think it was around the time
Wait, look at this. Jessica Harris Dupart. Those hyphenated last names.
of the wedding that we started discussing it, decided to extend our family. It's been quite a journey. I'll tell you, there's a lot of stuff we learned about women that are over the age of 40 and fertility and infertility and IVF and all of that.
So what she just said that they learned all about being over the age of 40, IVF, infertility, all that stuff. That's one thing that society just doesn't talk about. Freezing your eggs, waiting to have children when you're older, IVF, I think it's kept quiet because society wants women to work longer, get older. There are law firms, hospitals, corporations that are putting freezing their eggs and IVF into professional women's insurance plans because they know that when women have children, they work less. And Debrat and her wife had to find out the hard way what happens when you wait too long. Luckily, it worked out for them, I guess.
It's been a journey.
Yeah, I think it started out, it was almost a joke. It was a promo. And she was she had a new collection coming out with Kaleidoscope hair products. So we were like, we're extending our family. Ha ha ha. Right? Because, she's like the genius with the creativity and stuff, right? So then we got such a huge response. It was like, oh my God, do we want to have kids? And if we do, girl, we better hurry up because I'm 48 and, she's 40, 41 now. So we just went from there. Like, it was like, oh my God, like, because we talked about it earlier in our relationship, but we were so busy, like nonstop. We decided, you know what? If we're going to do it, we better do it soon, like now.
And see, it's just sad that 40 and 48, this Jessica lady had 40 years. The Brat's been on this planet for 48 years, and it just hit him. Baby fever is real. I've seen it. Women just get possessed with the need to have children, and once they make that decision, nothing's going to stop them. Luckily, they had the resources to get this done because it's a lot of money to do what they're doing. A lot.
The rapper didn't think kids were in the cards for her until she met her wife of 1 year.
I never thought I was going to have kids. Like, I just thought it wasn't.
None of them do. All these strong, independent women, I'm not getting married, I don't have any kids. You hit that 35 to 42, all of a sudden, everything changes. And this is a prime example of it.
In the cards for me, but I've had my great career. I've had feel like a full life, and I've had so many wonderful things happen. And I just felt like because I didn't get pregnant earlier on, that it just wasn't going to happen for me. I feel like I might have missed that boat, but I didn't. So like, I'm so grateful that I didn't, and I didn't really think about kids like that. I'm a great godmother. I'm a great auntie. I'm a great like, I love kids, but I just thought I had missed that boat. But when I met my wife here, I started looking at life so differently. Like,
That's what happens. That's exactly what happens. And women need to navigate that this is what happens the majority of time. The majority of women want to be married. The majority of women want to have kids. Even the hardest, most masculine women, if you meet that person, man or woman, it all changes, ladies.
Just like I want a little me with you. I want someone to take care of me and love me the way you tell me you felt when you had your kids. And like I want one of ours together, something special from the both of us that we can share and raise and love unconditionally.
Once again, guys, you can hear women shouting from the rooftop, especially in their 20s. Like, I'm never having kids. I'm never getting married. Guys, I'm 42 years old, okay? Most of the women I date between 33 up to my age at 42, this has hit them. So, women in their 20s who say any different, it's all cap. For the majority of them, I say 85 to 90%.
But the loving couple's road to parenthood was a long one.
We let her carrying, and that wound up falling in our favor because when I did egg retrieval, I wound up having blood clots in my lungs, wound up in the hospital.
An enlarged heart.
It was a whole ordeal.
And that's just to retrieve the eggs, not even for IVF. Gosh.
So fine print, and you just never know. You never know. You never know that when you become a woman of age, 40 or 40 and above, everything gets a little bit more complicated.
Changes.
So even once that happened, they said if I was the one that was going to be carrying, it just was going to be a little bit more intricate, Or
Should we even ask who the father is? I wonder if it's a close friend. And, guys, if you're watching this, put in the comment because I've heard of guys being asked from their female friends if they would father children. Have you guys ever heard of anything like that? Or ladies, if you're watching this, have you heard of anything like that? Or have you ever asked a guy to be the father of your children? Let me know if you've ever heard of anything like that happening.
testing and more this and more that. Not that it was impossible. It just would just be a little harder. She had to get polyps removed.
Yes.
She had 2 polyps.
First it started off, I had fibroids, and I was like, oh my God, what is that? But luckily they weren't in my uterus, so they wouldn't affect a pregnancy. And then I had to get this horrible hysteroscopy or whatever you call it, where they
All this is money, guys. Cha-ching, cha-ching. Every procedure, everything she says is money, money, money.
stick this thing in you, and they told me it wouldn't be painful. Child, I like to die when they
Scope.
it's the little scope, but it was so painful. But found polyps. They found a polyp. So I didn't have to have surgery for that. Dr. Jackie did the surgery, and then she found 2 polyps. So she got them out because those aren't healthy to, when you're to have a baby. So I had to do that, and then I think I was clear. And then I got the first embryo transfer, and we waited the 10 days.
All this is time and money. And the first embryos, so that they have multiple embryos. Just so I'm gonna toss some stats out real quick. Average IVF treatment in the United States is about $18,000. I live in the U.S. An egg that was frozen, there's less than a 10% chance that egg will lead to a birth. If you're over 40, you have less than a 10% chance of carrying a pregnancy to term. And then each year it drops by a certain percentage. So the fact that she was able to get pregnant at 48 is literally, I mean, you can say it's literally a miracle.
And we were pregnant, and then a few days later, we lost it. So it was like.
So that was the first one. I wonder which one this was that actually made it to pregnancy.
I mean, we were so happy, and then it was like depression. I kind of hard because I had never been so excited about something that I didn't even know I wanted, and then I fell in.
That she didn't even know she wanted. I said it earlier in the video. I'll say it again, guys. Women in their 20s who say that they don't want to get married or have kids, and I'd say even more so than having kids, because modern women they don't value marriage anymore, but they all want kids. She didn't even know she wanted them, and now she's doing all this and going through all the ups and downs and stuff. It's all cap, and when they're younger, guys, all cap.
in love with the idea, and then it was like all snatched away from me. So it was
Yeah.
kind of a hard pill to swallow, and it just became scary and really serious then, because then I felt like I'm not quitting until this thing works. So luckily
Mhm.
she had quite a few eggs left. I had none left, girl, but she had a few eggs.
So they used her eggs, her wife's eggs, but then she has to carry the baby. How complicated is this? And once again, money, money, money.
Wow.
And they were able to save them, and we went again for the second embryo transplant, and the numbers were super duper high, and we waited before we told anybody till the first semester.
After the
So
first
after the
trimester.
first, I'm still learning. After the first.
And that's how it normally is with celebrity pregnancies, especially when they're older. They don't like to announce when it first happens because there's so many complications that can cause miscarriages, or they can have they find out that the child has some kind of defect, so they have to, get rid of it and try again. So they don't normally announce it until like the fourth month or fifth month or something like that.
Is when we told people, when we were like in the clear. So it's just
Yeah.
a blessing. I'm excited.
This relationship has changed a
All right, that's enough. The brat is pregnant. Guys, most women who want children. And we're entering a world where once they decide to have children, they're going to get them. So, guys, you need to be vigilant. Wrap up, be careful who you lay down with. Um, and if you're a guy in your 30s and 40s and you're accomplished, make sure that you vet women because women will try to get a kid off you. And hey, ladies, same thing. You can find these women who who want to get inseminated and want a significant other or a partner to help them raise their kid or go on this journey with them. I say avoid it altogether. All right, this is Doug MPA. Like, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.